Hi, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to the latest episode of our podcast, where we'll be talking about tips to spend time with your family this Ramadan. I'm your host today, inshallah. So we'll be going to have, inshallah, lots of fun and inshallah, an informative discussion on how to make this Ramadan a memorable and joyous one for you and your loved ones, inshallah. Now, before we dive deep into the tips on how to spend time with your family this Ramadan, let me share with you a personal story of an experience of me growing up during Ramadan. So, for me, Ramadan has always been a very, very joyous occasion for me and my family. It's always been it's always felt like an occasion that is family oriented. So growing up, Ramadan was always a special time in our household, basically for me and my siblings, because it's what my parents made it. My parents made it a special thing for us, and it really did felt like a very, very special occasion, I would say. We used to always wait for the month of Ramadan, and as it was a time that we all could gather together as a family and bond over the food, actually, the iftar and the sahur. My parents used to involve us in all of the preparations, from going to shopping for the groceries, preparing the actual meals, and also cooking the delicious, delicious meals that my mom makes. We even had sometimes we even had competitions between my siblings to make the best, sometimes dessert. It depends on what we're making on that day. But I just remember very significantly that we loved making samosas, we loved making wontons. These are the things that we love making, and we loved seeing who could make it better. And the prettiest ones always get compliments from my moms, and we loved it. So, but as we grew older, things changed. Obviously, we got busy with our studies, jobs, and Ramadan became just another month for us. And then it got a lot more tedious for us from there. We got, I guess, there's a lot more commitments that we just have to bear. So we stopped prioritizing family time and missed out on, I think, those special moments that made Ramadan so memorable, right? Some of us were already going to college. Like my sister, my eldest sister, she was in Egypt, and then not long later, my other sister were off to college, and then it was not long later until it was my turn to go to college. I was in KL, so not a lot of people were left in the house, and I would say definitely that Ramadan got a lot more quieter, in that sense, for my family, especially for my parents. So schedules started changing. We were starting to have our own commitments. So we were starting to have our own iftar sessions. People had their own schedules. They had plans to have tarawih get together with their friends outside. So it was a lot more different when we were older compared to when we were younger. We didn't really get a chance to have like a full squad thing, like a family, like a full my full family together in one table sitting and eating our iftar like it used to. So alhamdulillah, my siblings graduated, I graduated, alhamdulillah. So we started thinking about it. We started reminiscing about what we had in the past, the sweet moments that we had in the past during Ramadan that made Ramadan so special for us as kids. So only a few years ago, we started to realize how much we're missing out on, and so we decided to make a change. So I think this specifically, alhamdulillah, there's so much hikmah behind things that happens. So during COVID, we had so much time to spend at home together. Everyone was at home, so that was when Ramadan changed for us, alhamdulillah. There were a lot of things that we learned, alhamdulillah. So here's me trying to share what we've learned and what we've tried to adopt in our family to make Ramadan livelier. and to be able to spend time with each other. So I guess what worked for us was number one, definitely. We had this person in this family who always was a planner. Okay, so my sister is a full-on planner. She loves planning, so she's always ahead of us in these things. So alhamdulillah for that. So what she did was, I think what really helped was she helped us plan ahead our meal. So basically she came out with a meal plan, and then what she did was she even gave each and every one of us she segregated tasks for us. I think, mashallah, she's just a natural leader. So what she did was, inherently, she tried to involve everyone in deciding what to cook and who will be responsible for certain things or certain dishes. So this does not just make I think our entire Ramadan much smoother from having to decide every single day what to cook. It made it easier, the fact that we had a list of things to cook the entire month. But the fact that we also have people assigned to do things made it so much easier and so much also lighter for our mother, mashallah. So a lot of the burden was lifted from our mother, because we all knew that we had a role to do, and we all played a part in it, mashallah. And it's a family thing, so everyone was just expected to do what they want, what they have to do. And alhamdulillah, everyone was just happy to do it, because we're contributing to the table, to the iftar and the sahur, not to forget. I guess it gives also everyone a sense of responsibility and a sense of ownership in something, and to be part of it. And I guess it just makes the occasion a lot more happier and livelier, because everyone's in it together. I think this also applies for families with young children. Get yourselves and get your children involved. I think this is a very good idea. It's a very good idea to start them young, I think. Even now, I'm trying to do the same with my daughter. Every time we prepare for iftar, she would be at the dining table helping me out. Sometimes she cuts things, although they're not always the shapes or the sizes that I like. But the fact that she is trying to contribute, and she's trying to help out, and she understands that we are preparing for iftar and that this is something very important to the family. Okay, now point number two is I guess something that we all try to work on. Not just in the month of Ramadan per se, but I think it's much more significant. It's much more important to be I guess more wary of during the month of Ramadan. And it's actually to disconnect from technology. This is really important. So it's very easy to get caught up in our phones and laptops, but let's try our best to limit our time on the screen, and try to be more aware of how much time we spend with our family. Try to be more conscious of it. Try to be more conscious of our interaction with the people around us. It's not just our immediate family, actually, even with our neighbors per se. But since today's topic is specifically about family, as long as you're at home, try to avoid touching your phone. And I think just trying practicing awareness or consciousness, trying to be actively aware of what you're doing during your daytime is so important. And you would significantly find it helpful that when you're not on your screen, you are automatically engaging with other people. It's so natural that you do that. Right. The next point is something that I try to do with my family. Now that I have my own little family, there are some things that I try to establish during the month of Ramadan, and we try our best actually to do this, and which is to stick to a common routine daily. So number one, of course, before you stick to a routine, you actually create a routine and an environment for your family to stick to, right? So creating a routine can actually help you stay focused during Ramadan, and it actually also ensures that you have enough time for your family. So you plan, when you plan your day well, it ensures that a given time is specifically just to be spent with your family. So what I like to do is actually to plan our day around the prayer times, because just to enforce the idea of praying, and just to practice mindfulness about our praying times. That's what I like to do with my children. It doesn't really matter how you plan your Ramadan routine, but having a routine really does help you and your family, in a sense that it gives a sense of purpose. And your children, it not doesn't only help you as adults when it comes to preparing for food, and when it comes to performing your ibadah, but it also helps your children, because it helps them it gives them a sense of orientation, if I may say so. So it gives them it orientates their entire day, and they know what to expect next. So for example, I have this azan alarm at home. So when it's time for zuhur, the alarm would go off, and then they know that it's time for us all to go for salah, right? So my younger children who are at home, those who are at school, of course they will be performing in school, but the younger children at home will be praying to salah together. And then it's the same for maghrib and isha, and so on and so forth. So having a routine that is common for everyone gives you that time for your family to spend together, right? Like I said earlier. And when the routine is followed by everyone, it ensures that everyone is doing the same thing at the same time together. So naturally, it becomes a family activity. Everything you do, from your salah, from preparing of food, or from your resting time, becomes a family activity. Unlike when you don't actually have a routine, someone will just be having a different activity at a different point of the day, and you don't really clash, right? The family don't really clash, in a sense that your time to intervene your time to convene as a family does not meet each other's schedule. Yes, mashallah. So that's what I love about creating a Ramadan routine, and I really hope that you guys could give it a try, and see for yourself how it might be of benefit to you. All right, before we end the podcast, inshallah, allow me to share a story of my another experience that we had during my childhood. I just love to share this, because it just reminds me of the family spirit, but at the same time, it's very close to my heart, as much as it is a funny incident to me, mashallah. So when we were kids, while preparing the food, my mother actually, she assigned us on this specific day, she assigned only me and my siblings to prepare the food. So confidently, we agreed to her challenge. And as kids, we were so eager to just, prove my mom that we could do it, that we could prepare the entire iftar without her help. Like, we've been doing it, we got it, mom. So I was younger at that time. I was mostly just assisting my sister, but I remember that we were so busy in the kitchen for like a few hours preparing beef. And I think, if I could remember correctly, it was a Korean dish that we wanted to remake from the show that we watched. So yeah, to cut the story short, I remember we were squabbling so much, me and my sister, and we ended up actually burning everything on the pot, because we were so busy squabbling. So in the end, we didn't really have time. My mom just had to order in pizza. Inshallah. Mom, if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry for that. So there, yeah, you have it, inshallah. Some tips for you to spend quality time with your family this Ramadan. And remember, Ramadan is about appreciating and utilizing what we have at the moment. it's not about the grand gestures, but rather, I guess it's the little moments that counts. So use this with your family, inshallah. Let's make this Ramadan a time to cherish and create memories that you'll remember a lifetime, inshallah. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode. Ramadan Kareem.